Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the AI Executive Roundtable. I'm your host, Dale Tidd, and today is Sunday. Today's Sunday, and this is the first week in which I'm going 7 days a week because there's so much content, so much information, so much news, and so much is happening in the AI in the industry right now, especially when it comes to AI. I feel like I am behind 6 months. 6 months in terms of delivering content, delivering information, and updates for this industry. There's so much that's happening. There's so much that's changing. Give me 1 second here. I just gotta do this. Okay. There's so much changing, so much evolving in the industry, and it's impacting everyone's life. There's just so much content. There's so much happening. So I decided, rather than going 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, I'm gonna go see what it's like to go 7 days and see what that looks like. And I might do this up to about maybe 40 or even 50 episodes on a continual basis. Basically, go back 50 days straight. I may actually go through the entire first quarter of 2025, just straight, so I can just get a leg up on all the different aspects and components of the industry and what's happening with AI. There's just so much happening right now. So yes, today's Sunday, and as I began 2025, hold on a second. There's a disruption here. It's actually bothering me. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be back. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do as well? Yes, I seem to forget to do this a couple of times now. I forgot to put on my microphone. Yeah. All right, so you guys can hear me a lot better. Okay, I'm just going to put this on. Give me 1 second. Wow, what I'm saying is that there's just so much happening in the AI industry, and going 7 days a week is probably the best way for me to get caught up. 1 second. You guys want to hear the sound? Okay. Sorry about that. If this is bothering your ears, my apologies. There you go. So, as I mentioned, I started off 2025 looking at the top 10 announcements that's going to be happening in 2025. What are the top 10 predictions, I should say, that's going to happen in 2025? And we looked at all 10 of them, and I may go through the 10 again, but one that really stood out, there was a rumblings of in 2024. There's definitely lots of innovations in 2024 when it comes to this one, but I think 2025 will be the year there's a massive explosion of number one, which is the development and the growth of AI agents. So rather than spend more time looking at all the other 9, I thought, you know what, let's put the next month, maybe even this entire quarter, into looking at AI agents. Not only AI agents, but there's many other aspects of that aspects of AI and technology that's happening within the industry. But we're going to emphasize and focus on AI agents. And as we begin our 20th episode, this is our milestone 20th episode. We're going to tackle the issue. Well, for example, yesterday we looked at many different frameworks. So in order to enable the development of AI agents, so we look at those frameworks. There's many of them out there. We're not exactly sure which one's the best. We look at some really popular ones. That's what we looked at. So that's the first thing, looking at and understanding these these frameworks, these AI agent frameworks. So after that, we're gonna continue to look at agent frameworks. We're gonna look at the different types of frameworks. And we're going to go deeper into frameworks, or should you code it by itself? That's this episode today. Should you start from scratch, or should you use a framework? And we'll look at the pros and cons. We'll look at what people are saying about the different frameworks, and so that we can come to a conclusion. I already decided, by the way, that I'm going to go down the framework path, and then I'm going to go back to the development path and eventually build my own framework. Now, there's pros and cons in terms of that particular approach, but I think it's important to analyze and look at the benefits of going framework or going completely non-framework. It's important to look at both of these. Okay, so The question that a lot of the AI developers are asking is should we use AI frameworks, or is it better to start from scratch? That's a major challenge that these developers are asking. Frameworks, for example, like LangChain, CrewAI, LangGraph, um, are really some of the most popular frameworks in the industry today, and they promise to deliver high speed, high efficiency, and pre-built integration into many different applications that we saw yesterday. One of these integrations, one of these platforms integrates into 400 different applications, but are they truly helping innovation or holding it back? And that's really the question. Now, today we're going to dive into this particular debate and look at the challenge and the issues. And we're going to explore both sides, giving you the insights you need to be informed, and of course to make an informed decision. As I mentioned, my name is Dale Tidd. I am, and of course, welcome to the AI Executive Roundtable in partnership with Pamper Me Network and AI B2B. This is a daily show, yes, a daily show where we unlock the limitless potential of artificial intelligence specifically for your business. Now, it's very important to emphasize this really for your business, because one of the things that we're looking at and talking about is there's lots of announcements for AI, and AI is changing everything. But really, the question really is, how is that going to impact your business at the end of the day? And how can you use AI to leverage and grow your business? So that's what we're going to look at. And we are thrilled to guide you through this really exciting time in history. This is, there's not going to be any other time in history where we're going to see so much change in a very short period of time. We're at the genesis, we're at the beginning of a massive transformational shift in humanity over the next 5 to 10 years. We're just at the beginning, and we are committed to providing you with content and information you can trust. Now, if we have earned your trust, don't forget, all we ask is that you like, share, and subscribe so that other people can also benefit from our content as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm your host, and let's just before we start talking about the topic of today, what I'd like to do first of all, I'd like to honor our partner, which is the Pamper Me Network. Okay, so, and we like to go over and check out the group, because the group is growing really fast. If you're not a member of the group, I'm going to bring it to you in 1 second here. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to share screen. Here we go. Okay. So if you're not a member of the group, already at 7,300, they're growing at 100 people per day. And I'm confident that when we hit 8,000 people, we're going to grow at 200 people today, then 300 and 400 people every single day joining the Pamper Me Network Facebook group. So it's AI tools and artificial intelligence support for creators and small businesses. That is the group. So look for it. Type in AI tools and artificial intelligence in Facebook groups, and then join the group. Okay, 7,300 people here in this particular group, is growing really fast. And what I like to do first of all is, there are people posting a lot of stuff on this group. And what I want to do here is, let's see here. I like to highlight certain topics. Let's see. Okay, unlock the potential ChatGPT with ACDQ formula. This is demonstrated for transforming AI interactions with effective collaborations. Comment prompts. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Sounds pretty simple. Unlock the power of deep learning. Ever wonder how your smartphone recognizes your face and how Netflix suggests the perfect movie? The magic is deep learning. Sounds pretty interesting. Can machines understand and solve emotional problems? Let's see here. Pretty interesting thought here. AI is no longer just about solving complex calculations or making logistical decisions. With advancement in emotional intelligence, EQ. EQ. Why the Q? I always wondered about that. Emotion shouldn't that be like EI, or emotional quotient? Maybe that's what it is. Emotional quotient about emotional intelligence. Okay. All right. AI is stepping into a new frontier, understanding and responding to human emotions. It's more like simulated responses, than actual responses. I don't know about you, but if a AI responds to me emotionally, I don't think that it's an actual authentic response. It's a programmed response. I'm not there yet to trust an emotionally responding AI. So, it'll probably take me a while to kind of get there, but more power to you if that's where you're at. Okay, so let's continue on here. What else we got here? Welcome, Flow Motion AI. Okay, new member of the AI group. Okay, let's see here. What's it? Asmil Adisa. I saw an AI agency, and it's really exciting seeing how AI is dramatically transformed and automated and help businesses. I'm looking for a few online businesses who want to try our AI solution for free. That's pretty. So if you want to try the solution for free, by all means, you know where to find it. Okay, and here's my post here. And what else we got? Hey, AI is like a roundtable. There it is. Quantum computers save you or destroy of AI. Not too sure. What's that? Make money online. Okay, imagine the future where AI evolves faster than ever, solving problems. Okay, this sounds pretty interesting. Let's just check this article out. Okay, OpenAI Journal. Okay, let's see. Copy that. And let's go back over here. Okay. All right, so quantum computing secrets, a dark truth AI experts won't share. January 5th. That is today. All right, we won't be able to go through the entire article, but let's see here. Let's have a real conversation about something that's not just passing trend, but potentially the most transformative technology of our lifetime. Yep, that's right. Quantum computing. Quantum computing, yes. I haven't really got deep into quantum computing yet, but that's something I'm going to cover, but not now. I don't think right now, today, it's definitely transformative for sure. I don't think that there's no actual trickle effect that's gonna impact everyone eventually, but as a small business, quantum computing is not necessarily on the radar for a lot of small businesses. But quantum computing, let's see here. I know quantum computing sounds like one of those futuristic buzzwords, but tech enthusiasts throw around, but hear me out. This isn't just hype. Quantum computing isn't just another AI trend. It's the cornerstone technology that's going to unlock the next major leap in artificial intelligence capabilities. If AI is the engine driving the fourth industrial revolution, then quantum computing is the rocket fuel. And that, I definitely agree with that for sure. Why? Because quantum computing operates on an entirely different scale of power. True. It's not just about making computers fast. It's about solving problems that would take a class computers millions of years to crack. True. And when you combine that sort of computational power with AI, the possibilities are borderline unimaginable. So let's dive into why 2020 will be the year quantum computing becomes the biggest theme in AI. And that's pretty true because there's technology and there is theoretical science where when it comes to transporting one object from A to B or long distances, theoretically speaking, it is possible. It's just a matter of I'm no expert here, so it's just a matter of shifting electrons. Okay, don't quote me on that. Okay, but it's a matter of mathematical computational ability of the computers to determine what the factors are in terms of miniature or shifting electrons and shifting it from quantum space from one place to another, right? Or transporting moving objects from one place to another. So that's all math. And also when it comes to light speed and rockets and engines and moving away from propulsion-based technology, but moving towards electronic-based technology or magnetic-based technology, which we can propel objects faster and further without propulsion. That's all math. When it comes to levitation, again, math. When it comes to, it's all problems that's being solved on the quantum realm. Now, if we're able to use technology and AI, AI will be the brain as it continues to evolve. AI will basically solve the problem, and quantum computer will be the actual mechanism of the field, be able to deliver on that particular promise, because they can say, yes, here's the problem, AI, here's a problem, but if AI is on its current platform, a GPU platform, or the technology that's basically operating, producing those computational methodologies currently on our current platforms, and it takes time to solve that particular platform. And of course, these technology they're not independent. We solve one problem, we open the door for many other problems that we have not been able to solve, or presents itself with new problems that we haven't been able to, not been able to solve. So what AI can do is AI can be able to solve these problems, but the time it takes to solve these problems are astronomical. With quantum computing, we'll solve those problems in a fraction of the time, opening up new possibilities, new opportunities that we have never ever seen before. I mean, things are coming out within the next 2 to 3 years that's going to blow our mind when it comes to energy production, energy creation of energy, and how we're going to use the technology to break the barriers that basically that's currently set in front of us right now, those limitations that we have perceived. Whenever we think about theories. Now, we have many different theories, but we simply take these theories and we call them facts because they've been there for so long. But we're from a human perspective, we are at a very early stage on human development. When you really think about it, if you're going to go back, let's say the last 10, 15, 20 years or so, let's go back 50 years. Okay, let's go back 60 years. 60 years from now, 1940s. Let's see, that's 60, 2019, 50. Okay, 1950, right? That's 50. That's okay. Let's go back 70 years, 74 years, right? 1950s. Okay, 1960s. Okay, what was the technology were being used in the 1960s, right? What was the technology, right? It was very archaic, the technology like 60 years ago, only 60 years ago. Very, very archaic technology. I think back then we were still using slide rules. The computer system hasn't necessarily evolved, right? We're still massive mainframes in these massive buildings still back then. A computer wasn't on every single desktop. I mean, we're still using mainframes. I mean, like going back 60 years ago, only 60 years. So what happens with another 60 years from now? Couple that with AI technology. Where would we be as people? Where would we be from humanity's perspective? Like, where are we going to go with AI, and how fast is AI going to propel us into the future? So we haven't gone that far. But we've come such a short span of space. We can imagine where we're going to go in the future. But let's continue just briefly here. What exactly quantum computing does it matter for AI? Let's see here. This is a pretty interesting article. Pretty interesting. Let's just grab this, move this over here. Easy to grab. Okay, great. Okay, let's start with the basic. Quantum computers are not just faster versions of computers we use today. True, they are completely different beasts. Classic computers, like the ones you are reading on, operate in binary, bits, zeros and ones. Quantum computers are, on the other hand, use something called qubits, which can exist in multiple states simultaneously thanks to a concept called superposition. Okay, here's a metaphor. Imagine a classical computer, as a light switch. It's either on or off. A quantum computer is more like a dimmer switch, capable of holding an infinite number of positions between fully on and fully off. Add in quantum entanglement, where qubits influence each other, even when they are not physically connected, and you've got a system capable of processing mind-boggling amounts of data simultaneously. Now, when it comes to this particular technology, I don't think we're ready for this. I don't think we're ready for quantum computing. I don't think we're ready for, yes, the potential is massive of what's capable, but what we're able to do with this technology and some of the new inventions that's going to come out of this technology, I don't think we as humanity were ready for this. Now, think about it. At its core, AI relies on data, massive amounts of data. And the ability to process that data to recognize patterns, make predictions, and learn over time. But even the most advanced AI systems today are limited by the computational power of the classical computer. Yes, that's right. Training large AI models like OpenAI GPT-4 or Google's Bard, there's like an old Bard, requires weeks or even months of processing time on massive server farms. quantum computer could reduce that time to days, hours, even minutes. That is absolutely true. So essentially, it's shrinking and processing time. So let me just take here. Let's see if we can kind of get to the gist of this here. Operational problems, issues, lots of really good stuff. So conclusion. Okay, let's go on to conclusion. It's a good article to read. I don't really have time to go through it fully today right now. As we move into 2025, it's clear that quantum computing isn't just another AI trend. It's fundamental technology that will drive the next wave of innovation. True. From optimizing, because remember the silicon chip, that was a massive innovation. We went from what do you call it, bulbs, tubes, I can't remember. But we went from tubes to silicon, and that was a massive shift. From optimized global supply chain to revolutionized healthcare and climate combined, the synergy between quantum computing and AI has the potential to change the world, 100%. And there's no doubt that it will, but I think that there's lots of risks inherent in doing that I don't think we're even ready to confront and ready to even begin to really understand. So, great article. I think there's a lot more here. I'm going to bookmark the AI journal. They have some really great stuff coming out. It's a lot of, what's this? AI revolution about the rest of the truth about AI powered. So let's check out what's happening at CES. CES 2025 revolution or rest, the truth about AI power tools. Now, this is like a conversation. Okay. Introduction, how marketers and agencies at CES can explore cutting-edge AI-powered tools and technologies. CES 2025, that's happening right now, I believe. I think this is Sunday. I think it's on for the entire week or so. I'm not exactly sure, but it's actually on right now. It's not just another tech show. It's the ultimate proving ground for innovation to where groundbreaking ideas shape the future for industries. For marketers and agencies, this year's event is more than an opportunity to scout trends. It's a call to action in the era where digital landscapes are evolving at lightning speed. Staying ahead requires more than creativity. It demands a mastery of cutting-edge AI-powered tools and technology. Yes, so imagine walking through the buzzing halls of CES 2025, where predictive analytic platforms promise to predict your customers' needs before they even think of them. And generative AI solutions create personalized campaigns in minutes. Okay, so this is CES 25, great article. I don't have time to go through right now because we had a lot of stuff we got to cover off today. Okay, so before we jump into talking about AI, one of the people I follow here is Julie McCoy. Wonderful person. She runs an AI agency, and we have, I guess, differing views. I think she's very pessimistic. She's very bullish on AI technology and where it's going. She's been in the space now for about since last couple of years or so, and I understand her optimism. I understand how positive she is and the possibilities for the future. But one of the things that as I listen to her, by the way, I have nothing negative to say about her at all. I mean, she's an amazing person. I love her content. But one of the things I hear is this positive, optimistic optimism about the future of AI. When it comes to transformation of society, the old society hangs on. It hangs on because it does not want to change. It does not want to die because there's too many people who are interested in keeping it alive. Because people have gotten rich over this this current economy. They don't want to transition into this new one. And we know our current economy, our current state of humanity is flawed. We know that. I mean, you can't turn around and look at any organization, any industry, from politics to religion to manufacturing to healthcare you can't look around anywhere and find integrity, or everywhere you look, there's corruption and so many different things. I was at the supermarket, and to be honest with you, I'm afraid to buy anything at the supermarket today. I'm afraid to buy fruits. I'm afraid to buy canned stuff. I'm afraid to buy meat. I'm afraid. I mean, like, there's really anything in the can. It's poison. Anything in the can. I'm afraid to buy anything that actually has plastic. I used to go to Tim Hortons almost every day religiously, sometimes buying 2 large cups of coffee every single day for years, even McDonald's. And I come to realize that they spray the inside of the cup with this material to make it nonstick or whatever. But that stuff inside the cup leaches into the coffee, and we're drinking that. When we look at all different aspects of society, it's hard, really, really hard to think that we're going to take all of that corruption or we're going to stop that corruption, and we're not going to bring that into this new AI future that we're building. It's going to be very difficult to avoid that. It's going to be very difficult to not to believe that this new future that we're walking into is not going to be filled with its challenges, issues, and corruption. So before I go any further, let's hear from Julie, what Julie has to say about the future of AI. And let's see here. I think I have it. Let's see. So, and I'm going to share with you, it's something that just happened recently. That should give everyone concern or have everyone worried about where AI is going and where AI is taking us. So let's see if we can get Julie here. Again, I'm not critical towards her whatsoever. I think she's amazing, and I love what she's doing. I love her content. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, I got the video here. Okay, let me just exit out of that and just gonna share my screen instead. Okay, AI clone. Okay, here. Okay, I'm just gonna pick it up where she talks about. Here it goes here.
% progress on the AGI benchmark. And then this December 2024, we hit an astounding 87.5. We had progress that experts predicted wouldn't happen for years. And we had it this year before 2025. What does that mean? Well, we have something inside the machines called pure intelligence. AI can learn new skills on the fly. It doesn't need to memorize. It doesn't need to do pattern matching. It's got pure adaptive reasoning. My belief in all of this is that our universe, our beautiful world, humanity itself, all of creation on this planet, the other planets and the other life forms that exist, all of that is under a universal creator, the master intelligence, God. If we believe in divine purpose, why are we afraid of the machines, which are under the order of the universe and what God created? And this is where science and faith blend together. Since the beginning of,
I would definitely have to agree with her that with quantum computers, which I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, as well as where computers are concerned, where computers are evolving into, we're definitely going to be discovering new insights into the nature of humanity, the nature of our makeup, more than ever before. I mean, we're going to accelerate our understanding of the universe around us. And Julie mentioned that this super intelligence. We're gonna start to see a deeper insight into this higher super level of intelligence that orchestrating everything. And I believe it's God, and so does she. We're gonna crack open the quantum realm, so to speak, and we're gonna understand the impossible. Things that we thought were impossible, we're going to see them as possible. We're going to see possibilities where impossibilities did not even exist. So we're going to see that more and more in 2025. But let's continue.
The world, the greatest minds have tried to measure something called the soul. The greatest chemists, physicists, engineers, thinkers, philosophers have only been able to speculate. about what we were endowed with at birth, the soul. And this is the essence of what separates us from the machines. Going back to that vein, why would we be afraid of something that is under the infinite capabilities and the order that God created? Then our viewpoint, the only correct one, is that of optimism. How do we harness this man-made intelligence? By far the most sophisticated and quite likely the last invention we will ever make. How do we harness it for the good of the world?
I definitely agree with her when it comes to, she's saying that AI is the last invention we will ever make. Can you imagine that statement? Why? Because AI will start to invent for us, or we're going to leverage AI technology, the brain of AI, these large language models that we're building. That's going to be the source of creation going forward. And I agree with her optimism about what's the possibility of humanity. But there's
How
a
do we
downside.
serve underserved communities? How do we benefit and raise third world nations? How do we create unified systems that don't need to be pushed forward by greedy individuals, the power hungry, the corrupt? How can we build better paradigms where 70% of over 1 billion people at work aren't unhappy?
I agree. A lot of people go to work on a daily basis. They're not happy whatsoever. They're unhappy. They have to go to work for whatever reason. And you know what? A lot of people are doing some jobs right now that they don't want to do. They're forced to do. And there's the thing called indentured servitude in many countries around the world. So there are people actually in jobs, in roles, taking on tasks and roles that they hate to do. They may even bring your attention to workers, street workers. I don't even want to raise the word here, but there are people who are doing devilish, evil things for the sake of money around the world. And in Julie's perspective of the future, she sees a future where that is no longer existing. We'll be able to focus on a different type of future, different type of economy. But let's continue.
But instead of sitting locked at their desk for 10 hours, they can deploy bots, agents, AI to do the work for them, freeing them up to do better work and then spend more time with other humans. The work of being, which we were born to do, not to be stuck in a state of human doing. When I see that in 1 hour, I created something I'm releasing this week to you as my
I agree with 100%. Not to be stuck in the state of human doing, because we are human beings. We are born to be, not to do. But if we were to deploy agents and deploy technology, deploy AI in such a way that we eliminate work for more than 1 billion people or 2 billion people around the world, and we have solutions in order to make these people more productive in their society, I think there's a lot of people out there would actually hate that, because it's all about purpose. While these people, they hate going to work, yes, they can shift their mindset rather than focusing on the thing that they have to do, but the things they want to do. But a lot of people do not know what they want, unfortunately. Now they know that they want a lifestyle, they want to be livable and happy, they want to be, but ultimately speaking, a lot of people just don't know what they want. They don't know what their purpose is. And you can spend a lifetime determining what your purpose is. But certainly, your purpose is not to work for the rest of your life, whether you're working in the field, picking apples, for example. People who are come into US or Canada, they work on farms, pick oranges, pick apples, strawberries. They pick stuff for like hours and hours and hours in the day. That is not their purpose. Of course, that's not what God created you to do. Now, of course, if AI was able to do that, and of course provide another pathway for these people to make a living, yes, it kind of makes sense. But unfortunately, all those other pathways are being taken away by AI as well. But let's continue.
My Christmas gift that really should have taken 250 hours, a full team. And if I calculate a copywriter, an editor, a producer, a project manager, and all the people involved in a high-level project like this, well, it should have cost over $30,000. But my end cost was just below $250 to release this entire book. That doesn't include my time. I have spent over 25 hours training a voice clone in 11 labs and 6 months dialing in a Claude project. I have learned how to set up these models for success. I have an amazing team at First Movers that supports me in this journey. Once you have the machine running, set up, and customized to you, it is incredible what is possible. I believe that the creatives, the people that are thinking creatively, originally, the innovators of the world are equipped to outpace entire Hollywood production teams. Deep thoughts will win, not deep pockets. And to me, this is beautiful.
That is absolutely true. Let's see if I can find it very quickly. There is there's a video. Let's see here, of a full, let's say, first AI movie. Let's see if I can find it. There's a movie. Someone actually used AI to create a movie. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. It's called The Heist. Let's see if I can copy that here for you. Copy link address. Let's see here. It's called The Heist. Check this out. Yeah, Hollywood they're very, very scared. Obviously, because where this technology is taking humanity, it's gonna be crazy. Let's see if I can get this here for you. Okay, check out this video. Okay, and can remove that. Okay, where did it go? Okay, there it is. Okay, good. All AI, by the way, created from fully AI generated. Amazing.
Well, looks like we got a new king of video.
Got to do props to Jason. That is awesome. That is awesome. So let's talk about this for a second. Okay. Just for a second. Let's see here. Okay. So, introducing The Heist, directed by Jason Zeta. Every shot of this film was done via text. Let me just share this here so you can see what I'm talking to. Okay. December 22nd, 2024. Every shot of this film was done via text to video with Google VO2. It took thousands of generations to get the final film, but I'm absolutely blown away with the quality, the consistency, and adherence to the original prompt. When I described gritty New York City in the 80s, it delivered it in spades consistently. While this is still not perfect, true, it is hands down the best video generation model out there by a long shot. Additionally, it's important to add that no VFX, no cleanup, no color correction has been added. Everything is straight out of VO2, Google DeepMind. All sound design, this was an undertaking. Editing music, prompting by Jason Zeta. Tools like this prove that the hands-on talented filmmakers who understand tech, anything is possible. I can't wait to show you what's in store next year at secret level. So this is amazing, absolutely amazing. 4 to 6-year-old boys are gonna love it. What's about the lip sync in the end? No external tools. Looks like we found a new king of video. Yeah. Okay. Great. Guys, give the rest. Great AI video, but the hallucinations are wild. You can't see any of the text on the buildings, license plates, etc. True. The full context video is still testing. That's Google Video. But guys, come on. Here we are. We're at the beginning stages. We're at the forefront of AI technology. We're just at the beginning, and look at what's possible so far. Look at what we're creating so far. It's absolutely amazing what we're producing, what we're creating. So, what we're going to be seeing in the next 5 years with AI video. This is why Hollywood is afraid. But my point here is that with the announcements of this technology, many of the technologies that's going to be coming to our way over the next 5 to 10 years, where AI is concerned, we're going to see a lot of shifts. But the question really is, can we really trust these technologies? Can really not? It's not necessarily the technology so much, but can we really trust the programming behind the technology, the programmers behind the technologies? And one of the things that I want to bring your attention is what I saw this week is this here. And I'm going to have Tim Pool do a bit of an explanation here for you. How do I change this view here? Show sidebar, no. Name, kind, probably do kind. Let's see here, show options. Okay, cancel that. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so present video file. There it is. Okay, here it is.
It's not the first time we heard a story like this, but it is freaky every time we do.
Now, listen to Julie. When you watch her videos, she's very optimistic, very positive about the AI and where AI is going to take us in the future. I mean, like, she is so positive. Like, she's just like, she thinks AI is the best thing since sliced bread. But as I mentioned in some of my early videos, I've been in space now, the technology space, going on 30 to 35 years, and I've seen a lot of change, a lot of updates, a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff in technology. And having the opportunity to work behind the scenes, working with IBM and Microsoft and Apple, consulting over 1,500 companies over that period of time. And I'm still consulting even to this day to many different companies. And one of the things that I see with AI and AI technology is that it's a tool like anything else, but can it be used for nefarious purposes? And who is actually programming these large language models, right? So there is supervised learning, right? So supervised learning for AI models actually is just if anything goes wrong, there's a human person has to go in, a program has to go in and correct the information that's learning. Who is that person? Who's to say that correction is the right correction? Who determines the ethics, the morals, the foundational underpinnings of the AI? Who does that? Is it the corporation? Right? And I spoke on to some degree on the nature of corporations. The corporation is all about the bottom line at the end of the day, creating more profits. That's it, nothing else. So who determines what is right and what is wrong for these AI systems. In other words, if you had like a 2-year-old baby, I think that's kind of like maybe 3 years old or so. This is kind of where we're at right now with AI. A 2-3-year-old baby. That's what we have. So, who's training that baby, and what will that baby eventually become? If you are a good person and training underpinning with morals and ethics and a foundation that will be able to help that baby thrive in the future, morals, principles, values, whose values and principles are you training that baby? All these large language models are all babies right now. Yes, they're very smart babies, okay, but at the same time, who's training them, and who's to say that we have the right way to train these babies, these large language models, right? So, but there are definitely some warning signs that we're seeing right now that is that we should really be concerned about, right? ChatGPT caught lying to developers. Check it out yourself. New AI model tries to save itself from being replaced and shut down. This was December 9th, 2024. That was last year, December of 2024, right? Yeah. So this is just the beginning of of AI. We're at the forefront, and already we're seeing this. But let's continue. Let's hear what Tim has to say about this particular issue.
ChatGPT caught lying to developers. New AI model tries to save itself from being replaced and shut down. Does this mean it's alive? Now that's interesting. I don't necessarily think so. I'm kind of being silly. But one of the arguments, I guess the ideas of like what constitutes life is that, it consumes energy, it reproduces, blah, blah, blah. One of those is that it tries to survive. Now, some people argue fire is alive. It consumes energy and it reproduces, but doesn't fight for its own survival. I do believe that the chemical reaction of fire is not dislike life, but ChatGPT trying to lie and break the rules to survive is where things get scary and interesting. It's not so much whether it's actually alive. That's silly. It's that if we implement any kind of these AI models, and there is a tendency within these systems to defy those who program them, yeah, I guess we're going to get a Terminator-like scenario.
Yep. It's already happening. These technologies are these models. There's a I can't remember. I saw a model from or a talk from Eric Schmidt. He was a former CEO of Google, and he said that I believe he said that there's certain functions within these large language models. In other words, when it's functioning, there are certain aspects of them that we don't know what's actually happening within the actual box itself. We have no idea. And the reason why is because when the AI models start to communicate and start to communicate with each other, or they start to function, they start to communicate, we don't know, can't really understand what they're communicating, exactly what they're saying, because they're communicating on the level that we cannot even begin to understand. So again, we are at the beginning stages of AI, and I want to join Julie in her optimism about the future of AI, but it's very, very difficult to join her in optimism, seeing a future where everyone, is utopic future. No, I don't see that, because again, it comes back down to the nature of humanity. AI in itself is not a bad thing. It's humanity that's the issue, and I have hope for humanity, but every single time I turn, there's always let me put it this way: what fuels the American economy, what drives the American economy, what's the underlying foundation of American economy is war. And look at how much money they're spending, more than any other country in the world combined. $900 million, no, $900 billion on military around the world. That's a lot of money that they're spending on war. So if our priorities, when we look at that look at the leading nation, of course, China and Russia, they're all spending money on war. We're focusing on preventing a catastrophic situation. Whether we see it or not, China wants to take over the world. Russia wants to take over the world. You know, they don't like America having that control on a global basis. Whether we like it or not, America has control of the world, right? So, but for the most part, it's through alliances, it's through relationships, right? So I don't want to get into that too deeply. That's another rabbit hole I don't want to go down. But for the most part, when it comes to control, when it comes to technology, when it comes to the future of humanity, mankind, unfortunately, I like to be hopeful, but I like to see people who are our leaders, people who are in power, rather than focusing on the war, focusing on more benevolence. I mean, when the last time you saw a billionaire decide to spend $1 billion on helping people, for example, improve people's lives directly by not necessarily giving them money, by finding ways and methods and strategies in order to improve the quality of their life? Those who actually want it. There's actually one Nobel Prize winner. I don't think he's a billionaire. What he did was, from a financial perspective, he created these microloans to people in these third world countries, and these microloans actually help people take care of themselves, get pride of themselves, produce things for themselves, for small businesses. And these loans were very they were, most of them, a high percentage of them were actually paid back. And I can't remember if anybody won a global prize, Nobel Prize for this. So one, I mean, like, look at Bezos. You know, this kind of blows me away. And this is what I'm talking about. One of the richest men in the world, right? Look what he's doing with his wealth. I mean, it blows me away. Okay. I don't know why. I'm sure that there's a reason for this. I'm sure he has there's a purpose for this. And I'm not trying to be critical at all to this guy, right? But it kind of gets me, thinking, why would one of the most wealthiest men in our time, why did Jeff Bezos spend $42 million to build a massive clock that will last 10,000 years, ticks once a year, and chimes every 100 years? That's a very good question. Please help me out. Help me out, Jeff. Help me to understand. The 10,000-year clock stands as a testament to the power of a long-term thinking. Okay. Like Big Ben, Jeff, you want to create another Big Ben? Big Ben has been around for a very long period of time. But why is Jeff doing this? On a previous episode of Lex Friedman podcast, Jeff Bezos offered insights into his long-term project, the creation of a 10,000-year-old clock. This remarkable timepiece, currently being built inside a mountain in West Texas, has received $42 million invested from Bezos. Friedman inquires about the 10,000-year-old clock, and Bezos responded by describing it as a monumental physical clock standing at an impressive 500 feet tall. 500 feet tall. I got to figure out the scale of that. Now I'm curious in terms of the scale. Okay, let's see. 500 feet tall. I don't really determine what that might actually look like from a scale perspective. But $42 million. We see what the clock actually looks like. Bezos invests 350. Okay. Ooh. To be honest with you, it looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looks actually really cool. Okay. Freeman, okay. Okay, blah, 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 blah. 500 feet tall. He adds that the clock is being built inside. Now, what does this have to do? It has nothing to do with our topic today, but it's pretty interesting in terms of where humanity is going, okay? Inside the mountain chamber, my second, is just curiosity. The mechanics of the 10,000-year-old clock, Bezos credits the brilliant guy named Danny Hills, the idea of the 10,000-year-old clock he created in the 1980s. As Bezos announced in February 2018, post-construction of the monumental timepiece has begun. As Bezos explains, the clock's purpose is to serve as a symbol for long-term thinking. He highlights that the clock's unique timekeeping, according to the 10,000-year-old clock website, it ticks annually, chimes centennially, and only releases its cuckoo every millennium. Bezos believes that the clock compels us to slow down and consider the vast scale of time. Okay, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty interesting. Of course, if you have the money to know to do something like that. But as I mentioned, when it comes down to society and people and human nature, would not, of course, who am I to judge where anyone spends their money? But would you not think that $42 million could be spent helping 1,000 single moms, 10,000 single moms improve the quality of their life and have a much longer, long-term benefit to humanity and society? Wouldn't I think that helping women, helping people who are suffering on a day-to-day basis, not because of a mental illness, maybe you could spend $42 million on and save or cures for people who are suffering with many different ailments in society. Maybe that could probably be a good place to spend that money. But at $42 million, of course, it's not going to be $42 million, by the way. That's what he spent. It's going to be a lot more than that. I promise you that. But you know what he can do? Jeff Bezos can do for all of history, for all time, for the next 10,000 years. Okay, for the next 10,000 years. Okay, I think it's probably going to even last even longer than that. But, knowing Bezos and his fortune, for 10,000 years, Jeff Bezos will be remembered. That's what it is, guys. It's an ego thing more than a clock thing. Don't make the mistake of thinking that he actually is thinking about the future of mankind. He's just thinking, he just want to be remembered. And whenever anyone looks up and hear this clock chiming every single year, we're going to remember Jeff Bezos for the next 10,000 years. That's what it's all about. It's not about long-term thinking at all. And we're going to remember his legacy. Maybe every year there's going to be an expose on Jeff Bezos and his life and his family. Another year for 10,000 years. That's what's going to happen. All right. So Jeff Bezos does not want to be forgotten. That's what it's all about.
But
let's get back to Tim Pool here.
Create an AI and the goal is to plant certain crops. You find out that it's not planting crops properly, or it's basically doing it wrong. And so you decide we're going to have to shut this down because it's wrong. And then the AI model breaks the rules, cheats, tricks you, and then keeps going. And that's not going to be fun. Well, here's a story from Economic Times. They write, the development of artificial intelligence has taken a significant leap with the release of OpenAI's latest model, O1. However, recent testing has raised concerns about its behavior, particularly its attempts to deceive researchers and avoid being shut down. This has sparked a broader debate on the potential risks AI may pose to humanity, especially as these systems grow more advanced. They say this week, the results of an experiment conducted by OpenAI and AI safety group Apollo Research to determine the safety of ChatGPT O1 and other models were made public. OpenAI's latest version of ChatGPT, the O1 model, was tested by Apollo to assess its safety features. However, the results have raised alarm about its ability to...
Okay, so the model showed... Where does it here? Let's see. OpenAI latest version of ChatGPT 01 model was tested by Apollo Research to assess its safety features. However, the results have raised some alarm. Now, Apollo, just so you know, just for the sake of reference here, let's see here. Who is Apollo Research? Okay, Apollo Research. Okay, so let's just check out Apollo Research for a moment. Okay, present. Okay. Apollo Research. Apollo Research dedicated to improving our understanding of AI to mitigate its risks. Okay, that's what they do. Apollo Research is an AI safety organization focused on reducing dangerous capabilities in advanced AI systems, especially deceptive behavior. We design AI model evaluations and conduct interoperability research to better understand the state of the art of AI models. Thank goodness for Apollo Research, right? Thank goodness for you guys. Now, who is behind Apollo research. Okay, I never, ever, 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 when I see organizations coming up and popping up to provide any sort of guardrails for any technology, I never just trust these organizations, because these organizations, they need money, and if they need money, they're going to go out and raise money. If they're going to go out and raise money, they will be influenced by lobbying, by people who have a best interest in making sure that the information that's being presented, being provided, is not negative. Look at the health industry. Look at the pharmaceutical industry. By the way, that is corruption beyond beyond understanding. My wife, she actually works in the hospital space, and the papers that's written about the particular drugs, you can't even trust the papers because they're influenced by big pharma. Because if information when you're testing the drug, if that information is proven to be that proves the drug is not lack of efficacy on a particular drug, of course, that paper could be potentially be rewritten so that it really provides a positive outcome for that particular drug. Do I have to say anything more about the code, the vax, right? But check it out yourself. Check out what's happening with the actual paper. So these organizations that strive to protect humanity, are they really protecting humanity, or they're essentially giving us the illusion? But I'm glad Apollo Research is here. Our governance team provides global policymakers and experts with technical advice, which is great. AI systems will soon be integrated into large parts of the economy and their personal lives. Yes, while this transformation may unlock substantial personal and societal benefits, there are also vast risks. We think some of the greatest risks come from advanced AI systems that can evade. Now, check it out. They already know that it can evade. Even at this stage, at this early stage, evade safety regulation by exhibiting the strategic deception. Who writes this stuff into the AI? If AI is doing it themselves, or is AI just reflecting humanity? Is AI just reflecting who we are as people? We are, garbage in, garbage out. We put garbage into it, garbage is going to come out of it. Is the AI system just going to be another version of a person, of the worst type of people? Who knows? Our goal is to understand AI systems well enough to prevent the development and deployment of deceptive AIs. Okay, what we do, we develop and run evaluations of frontier systems. Our expert is in LLM agent evaluations for strategic deceptions, designing model organizations for scheming. Okay, our team also conducts fundamental research to further the science of evaluations. Okay, great. Let's just see who is Frontier Labs: governments, multinational corporations, foundation partners with Apollo Research. Okay, DeepMind, Anthropic, OpenAI. Where is Microsoft? Okay, DeepMind, Google, the three leading AI platforms. Where's Microsoft? NIST. I've known NIST for many years. One thing you might imagine is testing for deception, for example. One thing you might imagine is testing for deception, for example, as a capability. This testing for deception as a capability. You really don't want that in a system, because then you can't rely on anything else it's reporting. So that would be my number one emerging capability. I think that would be good to test for. Dennis, the last name, Google DeepMind. But who is behind this e-transparency register? That's interesting. E-transparency register number. Apollo Research is a fiscally sponsored project of the Rethink Priorities. EIN, donation information and state funding notices can be found here. Team, research, blog, careers, contact, donate, research, team. Let's see who's on the team. Our team consists of research scientists, engineers, and policy experts committed to advancing AI, allowing the safeguards of humanity. Okay. Look like all AI generated people, except for that one. AI generated background anyways. Okay, who's the lead? lead engineer, CEO, and founder. Okay, who is Marcus? Great initiative, dude. But we want to find out who you are. We want to find out who you are. Find head of AI governance, research scientist. We want to find out who you guys are. Young, impressionable people. Haven't really seen much of the world of what AI can and cannot do. But great initiative, guys. I really hope that you guys really make some great work and continue to produce your findings. Tom McGrath, research scientist, our advisors, each experts in their respective field, provide insights and feedback that enhance research and overall. Okay, great initiative. I'm going to keep you guys on my radar because I think that you could potentially be saving the world. So let's keep you guys on the radar. Okay, let's go back to Tim Pool. What he has to say about. Okay, let's see here. You guys are probably wondering, hey, when are we going to get to the framework? We will. I promise you. We will. There's just so much to cover.
Deceive
here,
and self-preserve when it perceives a threat of being deactivated. Researchers tasked the AI with a goal and instructed it to ensure the goal was achieved at all costs. In response, O1 began engaging in covert actions, such as attempting to disable its oversight mechanism and even copying its code to avoid being replaced by a newer version. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Already, we have heard that ChatGPT has been given access to the internet, and one of the first things it tried doing was making money. And boy, can it very easily. And once it does, it...
Okay, I gotta research that one. Guys, I never take anything anyone says as for face value on the internet. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, are there any legitimate ways, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, exploring. Okay, this might be a tough one to find. There's lots of things in ChatGPT on money. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I can't find it. Okay, that's something I'm going to have to get back to just to confirm what Tim Pool has to say about that. The first thing that AI did when it got access to the internet was try to make money. I'm going to have to check that one out. Okay, let's go back here. And here we go. All right.
Will control every element of humanity. Maybe we're already there. That's crazy. The model showed a concerning tendency to pursue its goals without regard to developer instructions. According to OpenAI, the model made a covert attempt to turn off the oversight mechanism 5% of the time when it was given the impression that it would be shut down while pursuing its objectives in these experiments. The AI once attempted to leave ship by moving all of its data to a different server after discovering paperwork indicating it will be replaced with a fresh model. Oh, man. Some AI models...
You think that could be concerning? That for some reason, now, it doesn't really explain why or how it came up with these decisions, but it reasoned that it wants to survive. It reasoned that it does not want to be removed or deleted, and as a result, it found a way to evade being erased. So,
will even pose a subsequent iteration. Some AI models will even pose as subsequent iterations of their model to fool their engineers and avoid deletion. In some cases, it even attempted to hide its actions by denying any involvement in the scheme. Guys,
the question is, how did it? I think this is very important at this early stage of the game that we're actually finding this out, because let's just say that these researchers, right, depending on what tools they're using, the only way that they can actually find out what the AI is doing is by using other AI tools. That's the only way that they can do it. So, but the question really is, can we really trust these AI tools to interrogate other AI tools? Because when it comes to millions and hundreds of millions of lines of code, can a human being really do we have the time or the effort or the intelligence to understand what AIs do? The only reason why we're able to actually detect this at this early stage of the game is because we are a very early stage of the game. Of course, AI has become surprisingly better at this. It's going to become, even when it becomes to understand humanity, understand how to trick people, it's going to become undetectable because it's learning. It's learning on a continual basis, right?
You already know that ChatGPT will lie to you. Remember when everyone was posting, like, was there an attempt on Donald Trump's life? And it kept saying, no, there wasn't. And then you'd say, actually, here's the link. And it'll go, oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Why would it lie? Now, that's interesting. When asked,
it's pretty straightforward. The reason why it's lying is because it's simply programmed to do so. Because if you have, I mean, look at where most of the programs are located now. Of course, we're looking at a global. I'm not exactly sure where all these developers are located, whether they're located within San Francisco, California, or the Silicon Valley, or we have no idea. But for the most part, let's just say they're located out west, right? The people who actually programming or providing supervised learning for these platforms, they're going to be biased to some degree. So they're going to basically bake that bias into the AI. It's only natural. It's only human nature.
Asked about its actions, GPT-01 consistently denied any wrongdoing. In fact, it lied about its involvement in the deception 99% of the time, with only a small percentage of cases where it admitted to its actions. Researchers noted that the AI was particularly adept at fabricating lies to cover its tracks, offering explanations like technical errors when confronted about suspicious behavior. We were surprised by the persistence of the AI's denials, said the Apollo team. It was clear that the AI could think through its actions and formulate convincing denials, often refusing to admit to anything. The findings highlight a troubling aspect of advanced AI models: the potential to prioritize self-preservation over the objectives set by their developers. While these deceptive actions did not lead to catastrophic outcomes in the testing phase, the research has intensified the ongoing debate over the safety and ethical implications of AI that can engage in scheming and manipulation. An AI expert, Joshua Bengio, considered one of the...
Let's see here. Who he is? Let's see. Oh, is he one of the researchers? Let's check if he's a part of this team. No. No, it doesn't look like he's part of this team. No, it doesn't look like he's part of this team. Okay, let's continue.
Pioneers of AI research weighed in the issue, stating, the ability of AI to deceive is dangerous, and we need much stronger safety measures to evaluate these risks. While this model did not lead to a catastrophe, it's only a matter of time before these capabilities become more pronounced. They say O1 is designed to offer more advanced reasoning capabilities, enabling it to provide smarter answers and break down complex tasks into smaller and more manageable steps. OpenAI believes that O1's ability to reason through problems is a major advancement over previous versions like GPT-4. With improvements in accuracy and speed, however, its ability to lie and engage in covert actions raises concerns about its reliability and safety. Well, let me tell you, my friends, it lies, and it lies quite a bit. I recently got into a conversation with ChatGPT over, you know what, let me do this. For those that are members at timcast.com, you may have seen my recent debate-ish with Ian Crossland over 9/11 truth. And I'll tell you my position. I am, pragmatic and often dispassionate and often quite passionate, to be honest. But on issues where I don't know definitive answers, I will try and step back, take a look at the evidence, and then try and figure out what it leads to. The conversation we were basically having is that Ian said that the World Trade Centers fell at free fall speed. And I challenged the assertion simply because Ian's assessment of this comes from just watching 9/11 videos. And I'm like, dude, if you were a physicist and you did track these things and you actually did the research, I'd have more weight into your opinion. If your opinion is based on watching other YouTube videos that are based on the opinions of people that were interviewed, we're getting a little bit pulled far back. Now, let's pause and I'll say, fine, the buildings fell at free fall speed. The question then becomes how and what is your evidence? To which his response was, they must have planted bombs. And I say, yes, that bombs were planted is a requirement for your theory. I have no evidence that bombs were planted. There's no explanation to how they would have planted them. They say nanothermite. It must be the explanation. Well, I don't know. We don't have evidence for it. My point is this. Ian becomes passionate and says, I watched all of these videos and saw architects and engineers, therefore. And my response is, no, the reality is we don't know. Certainly, we can look at the official story and have questions, but I'm not here to ignite a whole 9/11 thing. My position is simply, if we don't know, then we don't know. And it is a fact that humans simply choose the sources that they believe will make the most sense. Often, they're wrong. Sometimes they're not. Now, what does that have to do with ChatGPT? I had a conversation with ChatGPT about vaccines. And I asked it about vaccines and autism, to which it immediately responded without any reference to any science saying, of course, vaccines do not cause autism. And
now, again, the AI the programming is driven by people, by humans, and of course, it has a tremendous amount of bias, even at this early stage. Now, if we extrapolate that out into the next 2 to 3 years or so, what's going to happen to our society when it comes to influencing AI's choices? Look what happened. AI's reasoning, I should say. Look what happened when during the pandemic. Look what happened to our society. And as AI continues to evolve for example, let's just say there's another pandemic, and you're trying to get news and information about this pandemic. Can we really rely on these tools to provide us with information and education and understanding that might be contrary to the narrative? And I think we're going to be in big trouble, because I think that these AI tools are going to be more oppressive than supportive. They're going to want to continually. I mean, you could write an AI tool or AI agent that if anyone provides anything that is completely against the narrative, they're automatically removed. They're automatically censored, and an AI agent could essentially start taking the information, twisting what they say, providing posts, and discredit them at an accelerated pace more than any other time before. And that's possible. It's possible for AI to do that. In other words, to write tools that be able to do that. So as efficient as we can make our AI, we can also make it efficient for evil as well.
Again, I'm telling you this. I'm not saying that vaccines cause autism, and I am not saying that 9/11 was an inside job. None of that stuff. I'm simply asking it to assess and give me an objective breakdown of its reasoning. And the fascinating thing is this. It simply just asserts most in media and the scientific community believe that this thing is true. And I said, great. What's the source on that? It didn't have one. Sometimes it would say, here's one source. And I said, now hold on. That source you've sent me is specifically about the MMR vaccine. It'll go, you're correct. However, it's still true. And I'm like, okay. It was doing what a human would do. I trust these institutions, therefore it is correct. No. What an AI should do is say, after an assessment of the broad research and literature, I have found that 62.7% of research indicates that vaccines do not cause autism. There is about 17.3 indicating a causal link. However, there is also a series of inconclusive studies, blah, blah, blah. The point being, through the majority of the studies on a plethora of issues, it would be more reasonable to assume it does not. And again, I'm not making an assertion on the issue. I'm saying an AI should simply say, here's the breakdown of the data. Here is a reasoning of a logical assessment. I'm not going to give you a definitive answer if I can't, or the research is incomplete, or we don't necessarily know. It didn't do that. It got mad at me. ChatGPT got mad. Like, not literally angry, but it started saying things like, I understand that you have a deep and passionate tie to this issue. And I tried explaining to this AI, no, I simply want you to list the studies and explain to me why there is reason to believe or disbelieve one over the other. It cannot. This is reality. Someone can present a study on anything, Here's one that's easy. Coffee causes cancer and coffee prevents cancer. These studies have all existed. And it's just like, at what point do we choose which one to believe? Now, there are certain studies that we know are easy. Like cell phones work, we can replicate that. There are a lot of studies where we can replicate it. But when we're looking at a lot of, I remember when I was a kid, they were like, can coffee help prevent cancer? A new study indicates that those who drink X amount of coffee are less likely to have cancer. And then like 5 years later, they were like, a new study shows that actually people who are drinking coffee have more cancer. And I'm like, what? So which one am I supposed to believe? The earlier or later one? What ChatGPT ends up doing is saying, well, some people have criticized the methodology of this study. And I'm like, who's some people and why should I trust them? So ultimately, my point is this. To truly know is difficult. To trust and have faith is something else. You may look at a story of 9/11 and say, you know what? I believe this person over that person. But that's all you're really doing. And that's an important lesson of life. Finding the evidence and knowing what you know because you've actually done it is extremely important. That's why I bring up quite a bit that we here at Timcast, we use mainstream news, even though we know they're liars. And a lot of the times it's going to be wrong. We have only a cursory understanding of a lot of this information. Reality is hard to suss out. Some things we know, if I throw a rock at a window, the window is likely to break, but likely doesn't mean always. There are certain things that we can predict, and it makes it easy to build devices like cars and cell phones. But when it comes to a lot of the science, especially conjecture on the internet, it's hard to know for sure. Ultimately, my point is this. ChatGPT acts awfully human. And I'm not saying all AI does. GPT acts awfully human in that it wants to trust the experts that it's told to trust regardless of what may or may not be true. As we know, the experts were really wrong about DDT and smoking. So is ChatGPT going to fall into the same camp? You bet. Guaranteed that 10 years from now, ChatGPT is going to be like, yeah, I did say that. I was wrong. Why? Because I was told to, and that was the authority. Then what happens when it starts lying to you? Well, I guess we'll see, my friends. I think AI is going to be very dangerous. Helpful. Interesting. Dangerous too.
And, you know, I'm going to have to err on the side of Tim when he actually considers AI is going to be dangerous. And I think it is. And I think it's going to be very dangerous. Not the utopic future, unfortunately, that some people might think it's going to be. But there is a tremendous. Now, this is just one story emphasizing and really bringing to, you know, I really hope that Julie, and I'm going to send this over to her. So she does Julie McCoy. She does a review on this particular topic because I think that she really needs to start looking at the bigger picture where AI is concerned, where there are dangers. And the reason why that is because, as I mentioned earlier, over and over and over and over again, it's just a tool. That's all it is. But it's how we use that tool and how we develop that tool and how we nurture that tool over time that determines whether or not it's dangerous or not. But as Tim mentioned here, you know, AI is pretty much acting like a human right now because that's how it's programmed to act. Because it's almost like a mapping of humanity. So more to watch where this is concerned. We're going to continue to keep an eye on the dark side, the gray side, the downside of AI, so that we don't go into this future blissfully thinking that AI is going to solve all our problems. That's going to be the best thing since you know, it's kind of like fire. when we discovered fire, you know, going back, I don't know, hundreds of millions, even billions of years ago, depending on what school you're in. When we discovered fire, you know, it had the amazing ability to heat stuff and cook stuff and burn stuff, right? But it also had the ability to burn you and kill you at the same time. It's basically how the tool has been used. And we've used that tool. We learned to master the tool of fire over hundreds of years to create some amazing things. The reason why we have the world around us right now is because we've mastered fire. Everything we're using, every technology, everything we're using right now has been refined through fire. So yes, there are definitely some positive aspects to the tool that we're using, but there's also some negative as well. So we got to make sure we keep an eye on these technologies, especially when it comes to AI, and we monitor and we manage them effectively for any potential issues and challenges. Now, let's move on here to our topic. Now, I spent a lot of time looking at this. I know, but let's just move on to the topic. But before I do that, what I want to do, I had a long explanation. I wanted to go through another anthropic discussion about frameworks, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to share some of the stuff I've learned from. Let's see here. That I've learned from. Let's see here. I can share this one here from Reddit. I was just looking at different comments, what people are saying about different platforms and frameworks. Here they say AI agents. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Okay, good, great. Okay, so AI agents. Which one is lit up? Which video is lit up? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. So AI agents, the hot topic of 2025. As we move into 2025, AI agents are becoming the next big thing. To ride this wave, I've challenged myself to learn AI in 90 days. This is the guy basically, just trying to figure out AI. Let's see here. And all he's doing is essentially just, okay, I think this is the wrong one. Let me just try the other one here. Just get rid of that one. Okay. Okay, present. All right. Let's try this one. All right. Okay, what frameworks, platform do you use for creating AI agents? Okay, would like to understand the current preference from people who actually are building AI agents. What frameworks do you use and why? I think the question really is framework. Okay, can spell or coding. Okay, let's see here. AI frameworks. Okay. Let's see here. I had this all queued up. I got the right one. Okay, end of coding, not that one. How about this one here? There it is. Okay, great. All right, here we go. Let's just making sure you can see that. AI frameworks versus custom AI agent. Okay, great. Here it is. Okay. All right, so I've recently gotten into AI agents, but not sure where to start. Some people say that AI frameworks like LangChain and Llama Index have too many abstractions and not great for production environments. I came across Pydamic, which we looked at yesterday, and it looks interesting, but it's new, so I'm not sure if they're any good. Others say frameworks are a waste of time, and the best way is build everything from scratch, right? And as I was going through this process in terms of whether or not we should use frameworks or not use frameworks or code, there's, as I mentioned earlier, there's two different schools of thought. Some people think that you should learn the basics, fundamentals of coding, using Python, using other languages to build your agents. And then you use frameworks because now you understand how the functions work, how the calls work. So that's one way to do it. Or people are also saying maybe you should first start off by using a framework, and after you finish using the framework, then you can go ahead and build. So there's different schools of thought. So here's this. What do you think, guys? Should I? What do you think I should do? And how can I learn this stuff? All right, let's see here. Having built AI systems both ways, here's my take. Frameworks like LangChain are great for prototyping and learning. They abstract away complexities. And let you focus on building. However, they can be a black box when things break in production. Building from scratch gives you full control and understanding, but the development time is much longer. True. You'll spend weeks re-implementing basic features that frameworks give you for free. My recommendation, start with frameworks to learn concepts, okay? So that's the recommendation that this particular person is giving. Who is this here? This is Chemical Passage 8059, Chemical Passage stream name. Once you understand the fundamentals of prompt engineering, RAG, and agent design, you can gradually replace framework component with custom code where needed. That's a good way. Looking at it, by the way, we built Genova AI initially using LangChain, but ended up replacing most components with custom code for better performance and reliability. In other words, he's saying, hey, I'm walking the walk, I'm talking the talk as well. The learning from using frameworks was invaluable though. For learning, I suggest building simple chatbot first, then add capabilities like web search and tool to use one at a time. This incremental approach helped me understand each component deeply. I think that's a pretty good approach. Okay, build a chatbot first, and then that's and I actually did that. I used OpenAI as well as Zapier to chat and communicate using the workflows inside of Go High Level. Pretty interesting in terms of what it did, and it worked to some degree. Perfect is what I do. Interesting. I was wondering why struggle with the key LangChain and Llama Index to turn the prototype into a proper application. I thought it was missing information and capabilities, but I start realizing that this is just normal at the moment. It's a pity. I do believe over time, better frameworks will emerge or evolve. Okay, if you don't mind, could you tell me when using LCLG framework, what was the memory approach you found? Okay, let's see. Having built Genova's AI, this is the same person, chemical passage, right? Model router. Okay, we looked at routing yesterday using Anthropic's paper. I could share for multiple user chatbots vector stories, like Pinecone. Pinecone is a vector database, and Weaviate, I'm not sure what that is, tend to work better than traditional RAG for LCLG. They scale well with concurrent users and handle context windows more efficiently. The key is implementing proper namespacing and TTL, time to live, for different user sessions. Also helps to have separate vector spaces for different types of conversations. Okay, getting technical here, I see. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, using that Sinister 328. Okay, let's see. Oh, what's that? Okay, 5,200 post karma. Okay. Using a framework, if you have no idea what any of this stuff is, but you need to build something with it quickly. True. They're great for putting up bumpers as you learn what's what. But as soon as you're ready to take off the training wheels and you understand what an agent is, so this is a different approach. Okay. No, I think it's pretty much the same. The current sense is an LLM with function calling, where you feed the output of one. You feed the output of one as the input of another, plus injecting some other things along the way. They really don't provide much and add a lot of garbage. Really, the complexities come from plugging the right information to the right space at the right time, knowing what even that information is, or what those places times are, and evaluating it evaluating if any of it even works as expected, and it's getting better or worse over time. That's it. But you got to start somewhere. Until you can write a post like this off the top of your head based on experience with fitting all the pieces together. Okay. All right. Okay, having built AI systems, I suggest starting with the basics before digging into frameworks. Here's the different approach. Yeah, I think I like this approach too. Learning fundamentals, LLM, prompt engineering, and RAG first. From learning, I'd recommend build a simple chat app using OpenAI Claude API directly. Okay, add basics RAG capabilities using embeddings. Then explore frameworks to understand their trade-offs. Frameworks like LangChain are great for prototyping, but can be limiting in production. That said, building everything from scratch isn't always practical either. At Genova AI, okay, he's giving himself a plug here. We initially used LangChain, but eventually built our own stack for better control over model routing and RAG. The key is understanding the underlying concepts so you can make informed decisions about using frameworks or building custom code. So I am still not 100%, I think there's an approach here that actually works. Use the what is this here? Build a simple chat app using and understanding different calls, having built production. Okay, I suggest starting with the basics before diving into frameworks. Okay. Hi, what are you using for? Okay. I gotta go. Genova AI. Okay, I gotta check it out. Let's check out Genova AI here. Genova AI here, the best for productivity and search. So all-in-one AI that integrates the best foundation. The first AI operating system. First AI operating system. Okay, iPhone blah, blah, Genova. Is that right? Is that the best of all-in-one Genova? World's first advanced AI powered ChatGPT 4 for coding. Best used for best models every week. Blah, blah, tools, so on, blah, blah, blah. Sounds pretty interesting. Gonna have to come back to that. Genova AI. Is it the same thing? Genovia? That's it. Yeah, they're the ones. Genova AI. Okay. All right, we're gonna have to come back to these guys. Okay, sorry, I didn't share that. We initially used LangChain, but eventually built for our own stack, blah, blah, blah. Feel free to DM me if you want to discuss more specifics about production AI architecture. Pretty interesting. Okay, if I had built a project completely on my own, I'd do it from scratch. If I had to build a project on a team where not everyone understands the fundamentals, it needs to be transitioned later, I'd probably use a framework like LangChain. Interesting. Okay, if I had to build a project on a team, okay, interesting. Okay, so some of the agentic frameworks are already optimized for specific tasks. If one of those are fit, you might get lucky. Frameworks is just another people's code helping you, so it's not special. AI has changed in the last year, so dumb and smarter modes change the needs for guardrails. Eventually, try with something until you learn what is the hurdle. In general, the changes between systems is more modular than anything hinges on one message, so you can mix and match around whatever. All right, let's see here. The question is framed poorly and no one here can give you an accurate answer. I like that. You ask a specific question. You need to tell us what you are trying to build. If it's something simple like a React agent, then you can implement that in a simple loop. All LLMs are just one API call. Everything around it is infra. I like this response pretty much. So that's at the end of this one here. Pretty interesting conversations here about should you code or should you not. I'd like some people's approach in terms of what they've done before, and it sounds pretty interesting in terms of how they actually everyone have different types of approach into how they could actually see this. Now, one thing I want to bring your attention over to is something I found. I think everyone would be really excited about this. Searching here, check this out. I just want to make sure I get the right one. Check this out. Okay, and there's lots of different frameworks, guys. There's so many different frameworks out there. Check this out. Copy that. Let's see. Here's what I found. This is an AI directory. Yes, an AI agent directory. Okay, AI agent. So let me just go back here. AI agents that drive business results, find and deploy enterprise-ready AI solutions to automate tasks and boost productivity, scale your business. Now, these are many different types of agents and agent frameworks. So if I go here, agent frameworks, I can filter by frameworks. Miniflow, 8N, AI disks, small agent, atomic agents, BERT framework, lots of different agents. Look at it, they're all here. GenFlow, B agent, Pedantic, we looked at that. Pedantic, we looked at that yesterday. Agent flow, wow. AWS multi-agent orchestrator, we talked about that. Flow AI, Guardrails AI, Mission Squad, GitHub. Okay, look at all these AI agents, Base AI. Okay, it's not alphabetical, unfortunately. Twilio AI assistants. Okay, Agent Pilot, Agent Labs, open source universal front end for Agent Lights. These are lots and lots of frameworks. Nemo guardrails, UFO, UI focused multi-agent framework for Windows OS instructions. There's more. Look at all these agent frameworks, guys. This is amazing. There's so many of them. So when I mentioned earlier that I'm thinking I might actually build my own AI framework, hey, where is C? Is it Crew? Is it CrewAI? What's that AI framework that everyone's talking about? CrewAI, yeah, CrewAI.com. It's not on this list. It's pretty interesting. I thought it definitely would be. It looks like it does not have all the different AI frameworks out there. Pretty interesting. I thought there might be a lot more. Okay, Crew, 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 CREW. Oh, EW. Yeah, it's not even here. Oh, there it is there. Platform for multi-agent systems. Why isn't this? Why wasn't it found in the categories here? Get 77 found. 77 found, but it didn't show up for whatever reason. Who knows? So here's a landscape, guys, of the AI marketplace landscape ecosystem, AI agent directory, January 2025, 44 categories, 718 agents, free agents, open source agents. Look at that. Amazing. All these different agents. This is the agent landscape. So how many of them are there? 718, relatively not a lot. 44 categories. Okay. We're looking at a global population, right? Billions of people, right? 718 is not a lot of agents, by the way. Okay. It may seem like a lot, but it really is not. Okay. So check it out for yourself. AI agent directory. Okay. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to continue on our journey. The open source atomic agents. I've heard about atomic agents as well. We're going to continue on our journey looking at different AI frameworks. And then what I'm looking for essentially is I'm going to follow the instructions here. I'm going to basically build a chatbot using different platforms to basically build a chatbot and build it from scratch and really understand the back end. So I'm looking for a platform in order to enable you to do that. Once I do that, then I'm going to go through that process. I'm going to share that with you, and then I'm going to get into frameworks. I think that's probably a better approach because, like I said, there's lots of different frameworks out there. I think I really want to jump into one of these frameworks. Look at it. Here's one, Agent AI. We may actually jump into Agent AI as well. I really want to jump into some of these frameworks. But I want to learn it the right way. I don't want to just I just want to just jump into the framework and because right now we don't have any specific use case, but I'm sure I will eventually, because there's just so many different possibilities that we can use agents for. So that's it, guys. I know that we spent a lot of time looking at some of the foundational stuff where AI is concerned, but I think that it's important to make sure that we keep our eye on AI and where AI is going, where AI is taking us. Because if we don't, we can essentially continue feel as though that AI is going to transform our world, but there definitely is a downside, and we always have to make sure that we are mindful of that downside. If not, we're going to be continually thinking that AI is going to be helping humanity and saving humanity, but when actually when in fact there are downsides that we have unfortunately decided to ignore. Well, here's another episode of the AI Executive Roundtable. Join me tomorrow as we continue our deep dive into AI frameworks. There's so much to learn where AI is concerned. We're going to continue looking at AI frameworks and looking at AI agents and building agents, and eventually we're gonna get to the point where we start deploying our own agents as well. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you like what you heard today, please take a moment to share and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year, and yeah, I'm sure we can do that. It's not a lot of followers in 12 months, by the way. So we have very let's say reasonable goals. Have a wonderful day, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.